All right, you guys, I wanted to kind of return feedback on a more level head after the hype. See if we can kind of come to the conclusion as to what some of the gameplay structure might be. Of course, right off the bat, I want to let most of you know that there is a way to defend yourself against the killers as the victims in this game. You're not just running around with nothing, no way to protect yourself. They just have not revealed what those features are yet. Even in the trailer that just released, you will not see these features yet. There's still a lot of surprises in the gameplay meta that we just don't know about yet. All we can do is theorize and kind of guess and put it all together. We've only seen probably 50% of what the game is all about, and even those are sneak peeks right now. So that said, I just wanted to jump in with things that I noticed. So each of these killers are very separated by their characters. So for example, I don't think Drayton, the cook, will be able to move in spaces that the Hitchhiker will be able to go through. The Hitchhiker will be able to go through the walls. Leatherface will not. And maybe the cook may be able to go through these walls, but let's just say he can't for gameplay separation, just to theorize that Drayton is probably going to be going around setting the house up, and then the Hitchhiker directly going out to do whatever he does. We probably don't know the full extent of his abilities yet. He also may be setting traps for the victims as they come up to the surface. So that's another thing I want to touch on, is players reaching the surface. Now, if you guys notice, Leatherface is always in the tunnels. We never see Drayton or Nubbins in the tunnels. So maybe the tunnels is a Leatherface only sort of domain. So somehow the survivors are going to be running around with only Leatherface in the beginning phases as they try to exit the tunnels and then get into the house. Then the game becomes open to all three killers. Of course, people have been talking about the door and the light both turning from red to green. That looks like a way out of the tunnels and into the top section of the map. I don't know if there's a puzzle to solve before they can open this door. What would it be like if the cook and the Hitchhiker just camp these doors? You know, how many ways are there to the surface for the victims? Or whatever the solution is to open it. Maybe you just walk over and open it, and it's that easy. Again, we are only getting bits and pieces of gameplay structure, so everything is kind of a mystery. But as I was saying a little earlier, Leatherface himself looks to... I'm assuming that when he goes to run after you, he has to build momentum because he's a big dude. And so it's not like he's just suddenly moving really fast after you indoors because he's so dangerous. He has to he gets to speed, but he's probably one of the slower moving killers to come after you, especially in an indoor space. That way he's not going to be killing you just right away. I don't know. Maybe he is even more dangerous than that. And, there's only so much defense that you have against him, and then we don't know what the defense items are going to be like. Are they separated? Like, you have to pick up this to defend against Leatherface. You have to pick up this to protect against Nubbins. You have to pick up this item to protect against the cook. I don't know if they would separate it like that, if it made sense. Depending on who you're going up against, some items just may work better against certain killers. And even then, when it comes to the defense mechanism itself, is it automatic? Is it going to be like a pocket knife, where if they go to kill you, you just put up this kind of like animation and then you get away and you have to break line of sight? How is that going to come into effect? Is it all just going to be like different various forms of pocket knives? And for those of you that don't know what a pocket knife is, basically in Friday the 13th, if you got caught, it's like a get out of jail free card. It buys you a little bit of time and you get to get away And I could see something working like this, honestly, for Texas Chainsaw, because when you get away for those few seconds, the map is structured, and plus the other killers are structured in a way where you might actually get away. It could be a case of risk reward. The thing that gets you away from Leatherface makes a really loud noise. Right, so if let's say it's a firecracker or a gun, let's say it's a gun, maybe it doesn't shoot him directly, maybe it like shoots him in the arm or something, and it makes him scream, and it makes a loud bang, so everybody knows, even the other killers know that it's you protecting yourself against Leatherface. But it's a really loud noise, so now the other killers are going to come running over to Leatherface wherever they just heard all this noise. We got a shot of Leatherface with Nubbins in the background on the left there, searching for, I think it's 2 survivors. I think that's a survivor over on the right hand side. And it's kind of cool that you can hide like that. I don't know if really hiding out in the open like the guy on the right is a great idea. Looks like you can just be seen there. That might just be set up for the picture, but this looks really, this is very exciting, kind of imagining the what's going to come after this, you know, once they're seen, where do they go? How is the chase going to turn out? So like a key part of this, if you think about what comes after in terms of a chase, is it going to be some kind of mini game back and forth with the killer? We just don't know the mechanics in between the chases. But it would be cool to see what we end up with in terms of the fights in between the chases. The next picture looks like it might be the gas station map back there in the junkyard area that we saw, where there's just crap that they throw away. And there is those big canister cars that I talked about on one of my last videos. So I think we might actually call it on this one. You can see Nubbins and Drayton back there on the left side. So you guys, here is the next screenshot with Leatherface wandering the halls. This is absolutely frightening. Imagine what the music would be like right here, with the sound of Leatherface's feet stomping on the ground as he walks because of his size. The fact that the person playing Leatherface right now could either be walking around in silence with the chainsaw off, or walking and revving it. I don't know if that's a feature. I'm just saying that would be fucking amazing to see. So Leatherface just throwing that chainsaw on is going to get a lot of people, because they're going to get up and start running, and nothing's even happened yet. Leatherface didn't see anything, but him cutting his chainsaw on was enough to get your ass up and in gear. And that's going to be great to see happening in players to play the game. And then, of course, you know, I know there's the folks that are going to just get into the meta, and they're going to learn to control themselves and learn to just stay down or just silently move into another room. But still, the experience of that tension will be awesome and great to experience over and over again. Then we got Nubbins moving through a wooded area. I'm trying to figure out where or what this is. We got Sunny sort of kneeling and hiding behind a car. I wonder if at this point, from the other player's point of view, they could actually just see Sunny sitting there behind the car, and he's about to get the chase on. And then, of course, we got this picture where it looks like Drayton is using some kind of hearing skill. So maybe he can actually hear the breathing of the survivors if they're close by and if they are in a panicked state of mind. We don't know if there's a fear system in this game yet. So if some survivors keep cool over others, maybe certain survivors that are not as scared do not have to worry about the cook's ability as much as another survivor would. So we don't know the back and forth between the killers and the survivors, and how some abilities might go against each other's. This could be some of the meta of the game, and how a perk system would come into play. And then we don't know if the survivors have to do anything once they get topside, other than just escaping the main area, getting out of there and running towards the road. Is it as simple as that? I do like the voiceovers. Some people here and there have been saying that they don't like the cook's voice, but honestly, I don't see what the issue is. To me, he just sounds like the cook.
You know I can't let you leave. You can't hide from me. Told you never leave your brother alone. Get her out of here, Kate. Get her out of here.
I think whoever they got to voice the cook does a really good job of nailing the feel of how that character should be. But if he can nail this,
Look what your brother did to that door.
Then everything's fine. Speaking of which, Edwin Neal as the hitchhiker, his lines are just...
This gonna be fun. Johnny, you ever take pictures of it when you're done? I do. It's real fun.
Good. This game, as long as they record it enough and they don't get too repetitive, their lines will feed into the experience and atmosphere of the game, and that's just going to be really great. The idea of having 3 people on the map can build tension a lot more effectively than just having one killer, because one killer, once you know where he's at, you're fine. You know, your head clears. You're like, okay, I know where he is. Everything's going to be fine. He's not even after me. He's after somebody else. Now in this game, you got 3 killers, so you're watching your friend being hunted down, but meanwhile, creeping up behind you. I think this game's going to be a big deal. So that's all I want to talk about. I think there's a lot, you guys, there's a lot more I want to talk about. It's just not coming to me right now. Let's just end this where we're at. We went over the screenshots. We've talked a little extra. Holy crap. I don't know what's coming next. People talking about a beta. I don't know if there is one. Holy shit. I'd love to play. Case closed. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to end it there. Have a good one. Everyone take care of yourselves. This is a big thing for the slasher video game horror genre for sure. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.